Welcome to Behind the Crew Talks, where we discuss any and everything that goes on behind the scenes of our favorite TV shows, movies, and web series. Behind every moving dialogue and explosive action scenes that you see on screen is a talented crew that makes it all come to life. Hi, I'm Alaric, and I will be sharing with you never-before-seen footage of exclusive interviews behind the Crew Talks. We have with us a very special guest and a good friend of mine from long time ago. Special effects makeup extraordinaire, Miss June Goh. Welcome, June. So, just to give everyone a bit of background, I actually met June on her first movie. Actually, it's first for both of us. It's the first movie I produced, which was Zombiepura. And I've actually never asked you this question. Is that all the stuff you put on our monsters in Zombiepura, did you make them yourself or did you like buy them from Taobao or,
I wish.
Yeah, what's going on there?
We make everything ourselves. I make everything ourselves.
Wow, like from scratch?
From scratch, from the raw material to what can be actually used on the skin.
It sounds like a lot of work. What's that process like?
We had to make multiple pieces with different skin tones and different sizes so that we could jigsaw puzzle it onto that person's face. But we were using flat molds, so it was a bit easier because most of the zombies in Zombiepura was not as heavily decayed like, say, Walking Dead.
They're fresh zombies.
Fresh from the oven.
Fresh from the oven, yeah.
Graduated in Paris in fashion makeup and started teaching at the academy for a couple of years, and that's when I actually moved a little bit more into special effects, mainly because of a lot of Halloween events, and I started getting a lot of work for like tattoos and stuff.
Were you like in school studying for fashion makeup and then you wanted to dabble in special effects makeup? How did that crossover happen?
I didn't plan for it. It just fell on my lap. Like, I was just doing what I could do to pay the bills, basically, like most of us. And there was a syllabus in the school back then, in the academy that I went to sign up for. And I saw there was like special effects makeup for film. So I went to Makeup Forever. That's how I ended up working with them. I went there to sign up for that syllabus in special effects makeup. And they said, we don't have anyone teaching that syllabus, but show us your portfolio. And maybe when we have an opening, we'll let you know. The next thing I got was, do you want to get your training in Paris so we get you certified and then you can conduct the class that you applied for? I think fashion and beauty, it's all about perfection. Flawless skin, symmetry, this basically everything that doesn't look like what you look like when you wake up lah. I mean, the focus is all being flawless and symmetrical.
Right.
And when it comes to special effects, for example, we take a more organic route. We don't hide flaws. We don't cover it. If the person comes with dark eye circles, which many of us in production have, I don't cover it up. I just leave it there. I work with it. I work with what I have, and I try to bring that up as much as possible. And sometimes the little bit of imbalance is actually makes the look work out better.
Bringing out the natural elements, right? Yeah, I suppose beauty is a very subjective word.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Fashion has its own beauty language, and special effects, whether it's horror or action, right? In action, there's a lot of injuries and that kind of stuff.
Correct.
There is beauty in that kind of art as well. Can we go see some of these things?
Of course.
Yes. Let's
go. Come. Let me show you my House of Horrors.
Whoa, this way?
My horror pad. Welcome to my gallery.
Oh, hello, friend.
This is Uncle Stuart.
Uncle Stuart.
Yes.
Hi, Uncle Stuart.
I made him with a lot of love.
What is that? He's got two things sticking out.
He's a bust. This is his air bladders. He breathes through these things.
He breathes? Oh, look at that. Wow. This whole special effects thing has a lot of different elements,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Are there a lot of different disciplines to special effects makeup?
Over here, not so much because we don't have that many people. But usually you have the technicians, the sculptors are the sculptors, so they sculpt whatever the design is. And then you have the mold makers. The mold makers just specializes in all kinds of molds, whether it's stone mold, resin mold, fiberglass mold, silicone molds. All they do is build molds according to like the shape and dimension of the piece that's sculpted. And then you have the colorists. The colorists only focus on coloring, skin tones, skin textures. They do the finishing for everything, the mixing of the pigments, and you have the hair people who they do fur, they do hair punching, eyelashes, eyebrows, hair punching on the dummies. So all these are all hand punch. So you take a needle and you punch it in strand by strand, single strand. And he's quite bald and it took me forever.
Yeah,
and I chose this design because I had not a lot of patience.
Right. It sounds like a very time-consuming, very tedious work. Like, ayo, why you do that? It's so sensual with Uncle Stuart.
I always ask to be part of the conceptualizing and at the beginning part. And instead of, don't come to me with the script when you're already locked in and finalized it, hand me a chart and say, I want you to do this with this amount of money within this time frame. I don't work like that anymore. But I realize that many people work that way and they don't understand that there's a lot of development and constraints and stuff. So these days, I'll read the script first before agreeing to the job. And then I like to meet the directors personally, one-on-one, to make sure that we are both speaking the same language. Creatively, we make sure that we're aligned with what needs to be done, where we're shooting, what's the weather like, any scenes that requires them being underwater, you know, like you never know.
You never know.
Like, oh my God, this was exactly what happened to her. They put her in a ball cap and then they soaked her in the waterfall, under the water, and then she comes out from the water. Yes, that's when my heart stopped. When I'm like, I'm so scared the thing will be floating away from her. I'm like, my way.
May I have the honor of being made up by you? As in, do special effects makeup on me.
What?
Maybe like
Gunshot,
stab.
stab.
Sure.
Many ways.
Anything. Anything.
Stab.
And stab the heart.
Stab.
Yeah, that. Go home and scare my kids. Tell me, what are you going to do to me?
I am going to cut you with prosthetic.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
that one no lah. That one.
Yeah, make sure it's big.
Huh?
My daughter can see. My la, why is your hand bleeding?
How old's your
I don't know.
How old's your daughter?
She's 4.
Okay, so this any size will be big.
Yeah, okay.
I should talk you through the process.
Yes,
So
please do.
these are the same types of prosthetics that we use on Zombiepura.
Is that something you've ever encountered? Burnout and, feeling discouraged?
Yes, all the time.
Like questioning yourself, you're like doubting yourself. Is this something you should be doing? And if you have dealt with that, how do you keep the enthusiasm for it alive? And I assume you do that because you're still doing this.
No choice, Ma. I'm not so clever.
Huh?
Can't find another job.
No,
Sorry,
you are
no.
so talented. How could you not be able to?
No, I mean, the burnout is real. And I think it's not just for people like myself. It's for anybody that's in production. It's not a easy thing. Making movies are hard work. People see the glamorous side, but people don't realize how much work and time goes into it. Okay, now I'm gonna do a bit of coloring to make it look more swollen and fresh.
Oh,
Just a little bit of splatter, not too much.
that's a unique way of spraying water. Instead of a spray here.
Yeah, because I want to create spots. I don't actually want to create like a chunk of color. I want to look like it's the blood vessels that are showing from underneath.
Oh, look at that. My goodness. This is all done.
Yeah.
Look at that. I have a freshly made scar, not baked scar, but freshly
Does go
made
in the
scar.
oven.
Yeah, so you had to bake it.
This goes dehydrated.
Dehydrated. Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that, so real. It's gonna freak my daughter out. Okay, Well, all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And I hope all of you watching have had a good time with June Go, special effects makeup extraordinaire. Look at the amazing work that she did for me today. Look, it feels real, looks real. Okay, it doesn't feel real, because if it did feel real, I would be in real pain. But amazing work, right? Look at that, look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm Alaric. Thanks for watching. Join us next time on Behind the Crew Talks.